Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Lito session. My name is Chris. I'm a senior product manager here with Latera, and I'm with my colleague Lana from product marketing. Lana, would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Happy to be here. My name is Lana Gabriel. I am a product marketer. I'm going to quickly just display our confidentiality agreement. Please do not share or distribute this video for any reason. Over to you, Chris.
Okay. I'm going to take the screen. Lana, do you see my screen?
I do.
Perfect. Okay, so today I want to show everyone how to run a grid. So essentially, and just to set this thing up, as a former practicing attorney, I used to live out of my inbox. I used to get a lot of emails, and I kind of knew that I had to zero my inbox every day. In this situation, imagine uh, a spot where a colleague has sent over a bunch of documents, a lease, as well as a bunch of precedents, and we're friends, and so they've asked me to run a grid. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop open Lito. And when I open up the Latera One plugin, Lito's the first tab. If I want Lito to access this email and the attachments within it, then what I can do is I can press Let Lito Help. What Lito will do, it will scan the email, it'll have access to the attachments, and where it feels appropriate, it might suggest a skill or even run one. In this case, Lito has appropriately recommended that perhaps a grid analysis might be the right tool to use here. And so I'm going to ask Lito to go ahead and create that grid. When I input a prompt, Lito kind of will signal that it's thinking with these three little dots that are kind of going up and down. And Lito's going to start preparing this new tool. But this is kind of how we imagine the future of lawyers working, using this natural language experience, not really having to know what is truly within the toolbox, just knowing that if you chat against Lito, Lito will find the right tool for you. So here, Lito has finished creating a grid for me. I'm going to press view, and as soon as I do, I'm going to be taken into a new browser window in a new tab, and we'll see the grid. So I'm going to click that right away. I'm going to share my new tab. Here it is, and Lito's going to start fetching the answers from these leases. It will have appropriately applied the lease template. But if I had wanted to, and as the answer starts streaming in, I could have just created my own prompt, something like, does this contract have a lessee early termination option? Oops. So you can always customize yourself or even start from scratch. As these answers start coming in, as a person who is interested in just getting an oversight of these contracts and what details are within them, I might want to validate some of these. So as an example, for lease date, I have here that this particular lease has a date of May 3rd, 2000. I can quickly click my citation, be taken to the spot in the document where Lito pulled this content from and formed its answer. And if I want to override it, because maybe I just like my dates in a particular format, I can update it like so. And then once I save that and I exit out of here, you'll see in this grid where Lito has my manual inputs. Now, as with all of our tooling where you have kind of a special analysis UI on the far right, in this case, it's a grid. It could have been a red line. It could have been some other form of analysis or even the document itself. I can always chat against that. So which of these contracts has a lessee early termination option and how much notice is required? Again, just showing you that I can also chat against the grid. And what Lito will do is it'll analyze all this data point that I've asked it to look at, and it will give me an answer. So in this case, let's just fact check this here. Lito is saying that only one of the contracts, the first one, has a lessee termination option, and the others indeed do not. I guess one more thing. Let's write an email to my supervising partner advising or advising of summaries of these contracts and how they differ in important ways. And let's see what Lito comes back with. Again, looking at the context of the conversation, but also having access to the data points of the grid.
And the grid is really amazing, right? Because it's allowing you to have multiple documents that you're analyzing at one time for faster comparison without toggling between the files to get those views.
So you can see here that Lito has finished writing an email to my supervising partner. And if I go back to my previous tab, all the analysis that I just did, including the email that was drafted for me, is right here. And I could forward that email to my supervising partner. I've just pasted in the email draft and I can send it away. So essentially what I've done with Lito is I've started in my inbox. I received a document with a bunch of precedents from a colleague. I asked Lito to create a grid. For the grid, I went to the web. I extracted my data points. I even added a couple of data points that I wanted to extract. And then I continued chatting against that grid, including asking Lito to draft an email. And now I'm back in my inbox and I'm ready to send this email away. This is how we imagine Lito transforming how lawyers work. Lito is just a natural language interface. And in order to fetch the tooling and get through my workflow, all I got to do is strike up a nice conversation with Lito.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us for another Lito session, and we'll see you next time.
See you.